Hi, and welcome to the City Sculptors Podcast. I'm your host, Alexis Williams. I am also the Director of Operations for 12th Street Heritage Development Corporation, but for the past 4 years, I have been immersed in the real estate and development world. That journey led me to this podcast, the City Sculptors. Here, we take a look behind the curtain and we talk to business owners, city leaders, construction workers, realtors, and developers, and we see what does this world really look like and how a city is shaped. So if you've ever wondered, what she does seems kind of fun, or, hey, I want to make a difference in my community and be a city leader, listen and subscribe and hit like, because here, me, you, and anybody listening can be a city sculptor. Welcome back to the City Sculptors Podcast. I'm your host, Alexis Williams, and today we are joined by business owner Miuze Edlin, and she owns Miuze Marketing. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. This is so weird.
I know. So usually Miuze is 12th Street Heritage marketing director, and so she's usually behind the camera for these podcast episodes, and today she's in front of the camera. So I'm so excited. This is my college friend, my first best friend in college that I've met, and I was very shy in college. But my growth is due to her, and now you have your own business. You're doing multiple things. You're working with multiple businesses. So I kind of want you to tell the people like how you got started and what made you want to become an entrepreneur, or is that something you always knew you wanted to do?
I feel like I've always wanted to be in business.
Okay.
Like ever since, high school, way back in Thailand, I was like, okay, I know I want to be in business. I just don't know what field.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a marketing class in high school, and I was like, yes, this is it. I want to get into marketing. So ever since high school, I feel like marketing is my jam.
Okay.
I do it well. I know it well. So I'm like, yes, this is what I want, the field I want to get into. So at Missouri Western, I graduated with a marketing and a business management degree. So that's really how it kind of sparked marketing. And then I went and became a marketing director for a mall. Did that for a year or so, came back, got my master's, and then worked at the Center for Entrepreneurship. Kind of got recruited by Annette Weeks, a little shout out for my business coach and business mentor. She kind of took me under her wing and introduced me to, or deep dive really, into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
She was the business facilitator at the time. And so I was really submerged in small businesses and entrepreneurship while I was at Missouri Western doing my master's.
And so I think that's a unique take, small businesses and kind of what you created your empire now, because St. Joe, and some people say this about Kansas City, but St. Joe is smaller than Kansas City, and they don't think that they can, make a name for themselves in a smaller city. And people are always like, oh, I have to move away to be able to do something. But you started it right in St. Joe. You've branched out into other cities, Kansas City being one of them. How was that journey, figuring out this works in this market?
I feel like every single business has its own uniqueness, and it's the way you craft your brand, and it's the way you tell your story. It doesn't matter if you're in a smaller town or a bigger town. With the digital age that we're in now, I feel like everybody kind of have their own brand voice, and you can reach a lot more now. Whereas back in the day, it's not as accessible. I don't know. It's not as effective to reach the magnitude that we're experiencing now. I feel like we're in a digital era where anybody can really show up digitally and make a name for themselves. I know several big influencers that actually live in St. Joe and has a huge following. So I would not let the place that you live in or the town that you live in kind of identify, the level of
outreach.
where you can reach, because you never know. St. Joe is a small town. I even have someone in Savannah, a smaller town than St. Joe, that is really showing up online. So don't let that define you.
Yeah, I love that, because I always tell people you can make a difference right where you are. You don't have to move to a bigger city. But thanks to this new day and age, digital marketing, and just everything is online now.
Yes,
and
definitely.
I took my hand at it when I started at 12th Street at our marketing and trying to be online, do social media. And I think this is the misconception that a lot of people make. I know how to post on my private page.
Right.
I know how to take a selfie. I know how to show kind of where I'm at. But as far as a business, it was so much work. And I did not realize, you guys, like, how much behind the scenes, how much work, how much scheduling and planning. And it's like, okay, you can't say this because it's not your personal page. You need to care about the effect your message has. It became too much. And I was like, I have to find somebody. And not knowing that Miuze had just started her own.
I know. I can't believe it. You don't even know.
It was like perfect timing. She reached out. I was like, oh, let's go get coffee. And then I found out that she had started her marketing business. So that was perfect timing. But we were looking for somebody anyway, because I think a lot of people are like, we all know, younger people especially, like, we know how to post online. We don't need somebody to do that. But you really do.
Yes, you do. I feel like that's the misconception, is anybody can be a marketer and everybody is a marketer. And social media, like, it's so easy to post, but it's like, do you know how to post effectively? Do you know what your brand message is? I feel like there's more psychology behind marketing than what people know.
Yeah.
And there's more strategy that goes behind just posting on social media that business owners don't realize. And especially small business owners. I feel like the bigger brands understand the foundation and what needs to go, you know, what you need to create to make it effective, and to get the right message across as an entire brand online. But small businesses kind of struggle with that a little bit, and they don't realize, there is a strategy behind that, and there's a way, a more effective way
and
to
I think
communicate.
It comes from, like, smaller businesses. They're like, well, what is necessary for me to spend money on? And so they're like, oh, well, that's not really, but it makes a huge difference for your brand.
Yes.
And your online presence. It can, that can generate money on its own. So marketing is important. I think all small businesses, should have that. So what are some moments before you started your business as Miuze Marketing, before you started that business? You had another business, Card Your Yard.
Yes, I did. So I did quite a bit, I feel like. So after I left the mall, I went back to get my master's.
Okay.
And then I was recruited by NetWeeks. Shout out to Net again. Probably
She's
tired
good.
of hearing
I need to have a business coach,
I know.
so.
You probably need to talk to her. But she kind of recruited me. She needed a graduate assistant for the Center for Entrepreneurship. So I was working for her at the time, and I was going to school. And she created this website where businesses can post their business for sale, like, business that wants to transition. So Card My Yard was one of them. And it's one of the smaller ones. And it was a franchise. If you guys don't know what Card My Yard is, it's one of those, like, yard signs that you stick on the ground. So it's like, happy birthday, happy anniversary. And I thought it was so fun, and definitely I was like, yes, this is it. I love creativity. And that was one of a good creativity outlet for me. And I was like, while I was making money, this can be a little side gig. And then it grew. I quadrupled the net profit of Card My Yard, which, I mean, that was the whole goal. My intention was to buy it, grow it, and then sell it. But it kind of blew up. I mean, I implemented a social media strategy for Card My Yard when I owned it. And we quadrupled the net profit, sold it for quadrupled the price of what I bought it for, I believe. But yeah, that kind of gave me an idea of what it's like to become a small business owner. And it is not easy. Like, I was having such a hard time. And you say like small business owners wear so many hats, and that is so true.
Yeah.
And you were a business owner yourself
Yes.
at one point. So it's like you're the accountant,
Oh my
you
gosh.
have to know your product really well. You need to do all the marketing. And as someone that was, I say, really good at marketing, and that's my thing, my
Yeah.
gig, I was struggling.
Yeah.
I was struggling to post for Card My Yard. But when I did, it did so well.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's really how I grew the business, but it was a struggle. So like, I feel the pain. I feel the pain for sure.
Now, is that something, because before you had told me that, like you said, I started my own business from like ground zero.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that you could buy a business.
Yes.
So for some people who are listening who, you know, want to be entrepreneurs or maybe just want to own a business, is that something that's normal for people to do, is buy businesses? Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. I always recommend like look at a business that are already established to purchase before you start your own. Unless you like, oh, I really want to grow this brand. Like this is what I want to do. But look at a business that has already been established that you can purchase from. One, it's easier to get a loan to purchase that business because you have their profit and loss statement. So that's very important in the business world, right? My CPA, my accountant's like, have you seen your profit and loss? I need to look at that more often. I'm not going to lie. But because they have a record of how their business was run, how well it was run, is it profiting, not profiting, you can kind of tell if you purchase that business, can you flip it?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, can you go in and make it better and do it that way opposed to starting a whole new brand? Because if you think about it, as an example, if you wanted to buy a drink company, you know, like, and it's already established, it might be a couple $100,000, it might be a couple million, but they have a track record that says, hey, we make $5 million a year, then the bank is more likely to say, okay, well, we see that they can make this much money. And if you come up with a good, business plan, marketing plan, and see how you can implement, they're more likely to give you money. And I have to say, it's harder to grow a whole new brand because you have to create one, brand awareness, two, brand identity, get your message across. It takes a lot of time, and it's not like, oh, I'm going to grow overnight, So that's something I always tell newly, I would say, business owners or people that want to get into entrepreneurship is like, look at that before you even start. And it's hard because I should have looked up the stats before I came in because it's a lot of the times small businesses don't last over 5 years, something like that.
I think that's true.
Something like
I would
have to look that up and actually and get that number right. But yeah, it's something like that, and that's because you didn't do enough research before you start most of the time. Yeah.
I was going to ask you the next question. That might be your answer. You might have a different one.
Okay.
But my next question is, what advice would you give someone who is launching a brand, whether it was a side hustle, a small business, a nonprofit? What would be the one piece of advice you would give a small brand?
I would say, one, do your research. I think that's the most important, is like doing your research and sit down. Again, go over financial, even on the research stage. I feel like that's important because one thing that entrepreneurs don't look at is finance and the money.
Yeah.
Right. So they are so excited, and it's like the entrepreneurship passion, adrenaline rush of like, I'm starting a brand, and you want to get it out there because it's such a great product, and you advocate for your product. Yes, great. But then they miss out on the financials. They either like, oh, I forgot that I need need to purchase this, or hey, I didn't even think about the marketing side of this, or I didn't even think about paying myself. So how much would that be? How many if I'm selling a bottle of water, how many bottles of water do I have to sell to be able to pay for the bottle itself, the distribution, the marketing, how much will it cost to pay myself? Because you can't do it for free, not for long. It just doesn't work long term. So I say do enough research, before you even start, and start putting your financials together. There's a lot of things online, a lot of information online you can look up, and work with somebody that's been in business. Surround yourself with, people that are in business, and talk to them about it. Get advice, get a business. Well, I hate to say get a business coach right off the bat, but it's good to have someone you can talk to and kind of throw ideas back and forth before you even.
So today's word of the day is going to be research.
Yes, research.
So I know, but you've lived in Thailand.
Yes.
You've lived in Australia for school.
Yes.
Before. Now, living and visiting are like two different things. But because you've lived in other countries, how has that influenced, if it has at all, how you market today and how you operate your business?
Okay. So I've lived in 5 different countries, including the States.
Okay.
So I've been in Papua New Guinea. So that's where I learned my English, guys. I think I was like 7 or 8, and I only knew 2 words in English. Which was yes and no.
That's pretty much all you need anyway.
all I knew was yes and no, and I couldn't identify. I remember this so well. Like my friends had crepes, and I was like, okay, I wonder how she made it. And she was like, flour, milk, and eggs. And I was like picking flowers along the road on my way home so my mom can make me crepes, because I didn't know the difference between flour and flour. So anyways, that's little fun facts about little Miuze.
They say English is the hardest because we have so many.
It's so hard. And I speak 3 languages, and English is the hardest. I'm telling you, it's so hard. But yes, it does have an effect. So I lived in Papua New Guinea, in Thailand. I lived in Laos. I was in Australia for 2 years, in Cairns, Queensland for a year, and then in Perth, Western Australia for a year. And then, of course, the States. But every single country is it's different, the way they market. And because I kind of knew I wanted to be in business, like back in high school. So when I go out, I look at commercials. I study the commercials. I study the way how the posters were made. So like, where did they put, their main focus point? Where did they put the keywords? How many words were on the billboard, which you're not supposed to have more than 7.
I'm gonna start counting billboards as I'm.
I know. So it's like there's a lot of messaging and psychology that goes into marketing, and each country with each culture, it's different. So the message is always different, and how you talk to that community is different. So I think that kind of set us apart is knowing how to really identify your target market, our audience with each of our clients. Like we really hone in on that. And shout out to my social media manager, Jordan. She's also here, but that's something we talk about all the time is like, okay, who's their target market? How do we need to communicate with them? And how to communicate effectively is the key. So yeah, it definitely, living in different countries really mold and shape me in that way.
And to have like just a better understanding and to serve more diverse clients. I know you have a coffee client or a nonprofit client. So completely different marketing, but I feel like you do everything very well. And like it is specific for that client. But you have the knowledge of very vast knowledge of how to do everything. How do you see entrepreneurship as a form of local leadership? Speaking of knowing your audience, you know.
I feel like, those small business or local businesses, local nonprofit, is a community in itself, and they are supporting our local community. Believe it or not, by supporting local, you're supporting your community because those money stays within the
Mhm.
community. So you support a mom and pop is like supporting your community in itself and supporting the leaders, and they have a platform. Those small business owners, they have a platform, and they always help out in the community. So I feel like by us helping the businesses and the local, like you guys, local nonprofit, I feel like we're doing our part in giving back to the community as well. So yeah, one thing I would say is definitely support your local mom and pops and support your local nonprofit.
There you go. So how do you keep, I know you have a team of women who are working for you.
Yes.
Everybody has very creative ideas. With that energy, how do you keep it high? How do you keep it going and marketing for yourself? Because you're marketing for your own company, but also for
Yes.
others. So how do you keep the creative juices flowing?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, Jordan.
I know. Very hard question.
This is a tough one. I feel like we have fun. Like with
Okay.
me and the girls. I say the girls because we're really a team of women. And we like to have fun. We meet up for coffee, and we work at a coffee shop. And we talk, and we don't just talk business. We talk about everything. We talk about Ash, which is our part of our support staff. And Ash is Jordan's dog.
Okay, I was like, it is the dog, right?
It is the dog. Yes. So we are a very dog friendly, animal friendly, I would say pet friendly business. So we love our animals, and we talk to each other about everything, and we always do fun things together. We film fun reels together. So it's always going. And I know like my team and myself will have that creative burnout, or like we just don't feel like doing anything today. And I say, just, if you can't do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
If it's not ready, so I keep hitting this mic. But if it's, if you need to take a couple days off, take a couple days off. So we're very, I feel like we're very lenient in that way.
Yeah, that's good though.
So it keeps,
some team building activities. I think a lot of businesses have like gotten away from that, but I do think
it's because of COVID probably.
Yeah.
But
so many businesses have changed after. And the 5 years have like flown by. The fact that we're in 2025 is crazy.
Isn't that crazy? It's been 5 years.
It's been 5. Every time I'm like, no, it hasn't. Because it feels like it was just last year. But I think getting back into the swing of things, like you said, take a couple days off, and then I expect you to like come back, energized. But I think as a society, we're just dragging from that. So it's hard to bounce back. And I do think team building activities and those things are always a good way to not make it like feel like work. Because I feel like marketing, although it is work, you do have to have fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's probably hard to do both. But
but we got it.
You guys got it. You guys are really good. Yeah. So what is one way you think that you've helped sculpt Kansas City so far? We've talked about you have businesses in St. Joe that you help. You have businesses here that you helped.
Yes.
What do you feel like your impact with those businesses have been so far?
Like I said, I said it before, but it's like helping them help the community and getting their message across. Is our impact. I mean, we're helping contribute to the Kansas City ecosystem and entrepreneurship ecosystem by helping the businesses get their message across, because marketing is not just about selling. It's about building relationship and making sure the community is connected to the brand and are aware of the brand. So that is one way that we're helping shape. Helping shape Kansas City and St. Joe's, or sculpting them. I would say that's the correct term.
She knows her marketing. See,
I do.
She knows the right buzzwords. What is one way you think Miuze Marketing is different from other marketing agencies?
So we are a boutique digital marketing agency. We're small. We're only a team of 4 girls. I say girls, but
But women.
we're
I mean, we're all girls at
women.
heart. You're
I
grown
know we
women,
are.
but we're just girls.
We are just girl in this world. But we're ruling it, by the way.
Yes.
But we say, I mean, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, just
Let me
one
see.
way. What is one thing that, or one way Miuze Marketing Company is different from other marketing agencies?
Okay. So I was getting there. Okay, so we are a boutique. So that means we're small. 4 groups, a group of women, 4 girls. We're small. We're more intentional. We're more
Mhm.
about building relationship with the client, whereas bigger marketing agencies don't have that relationship and don't have
Yes.
that connection. We want to make sure that all of our clients know that we're there and we're part of their team. I mean, we're part of their marketing team. So that's definitely a differentiation from us and a lot of the marketing agencies where we always say relationship comes first.
Yes.
In our communications with our client, and we want to make sure that our clients do well
Yeah.
in
I will
their
say,
business.
because you guys are smaller, I just know from experience, I don't know how other marketing agencies do it, but you've come and spent the whole day at
Yeah.
our office. And I think, and you'll just sit there, you'll do other work. But I think being in the environment and being with your client also gives you an edge when it comes to marketing. I know sometimes it feels like we send emails all day long. And so sometimes to just be there and you kind of get to know the people's personality more. You and your
Yes.
team are really good at that. I sent you a text that nobody understood until
Yeah, I
it clicked
know.
a couple of days later. But I do that, but you wouldn't know that if you didn't spend time with,
Right.
your clients. And
Right.
some people, they do just view them as clients. But I will say, I think you guys do a really great job
Thank you.
of making all, your clients feel special and feel like they're on your team.
We want to make sure our clients know like we're there. And we work with a lot of industries, so we do a lot of research in the back end to make sure that we're serving you properly. We're serving you right, and you're getting 100% of us. And we're intentional, so we also pick and choose our clients. Just to make sure we work well together and we're on the same page. So we don't just onboard a bunch of client at the same time. So we're very, very intentional when it comes to that as well.
Yeah, I think that's something a lot of people probably wouldn't. And I know we always hear all money isn't good money. But you're talking about relationships and making sure that, it works out. And I think that's really good too for people to know. Just because, you have an influx of business and it could grow your business, it may not, because having that many people and personalities and everything, you really have to know what you're working with.
Yes, definitely.
Are you ready for a rapid fire?
Sure.
Real quick?
Yeah.
Favorite local coffee shop or co-working spot?
Okay, I say Rochester
Rochester?
Brewery, and yes, because they are also my client and they have the best coffee.
Yeah.
And beer.
Okay.
Yes.
Most used tool in your marketing toolkit?
Canva is probably our most used.
I use Canva, probably not to the extent that y'all use. A lot of people probably don't know what all Canva can do.
Oh yeah, it can do a lot. We love Canva. We love Canva and CapCut.
Yep.
Those are the 2 tools for, especially if you're going into social media. Like those are our top 2 favorite tools right there.
One quote, book, or mantra you live by as a creative entrepreneur?
Oh my gosh, we even talked about it before we got into this interview. I don't really have a true quote.
Okay.
But I would say a book I recommend.
Okay, what book she always recommends books, you guys.
Okay, so Atomic Habit is one, and then another one is Profit First. So if you're starting a business, Profit First, forgot the author's name, but I'll definitely post it.
Yeah.
Because, I'm editing this video too.
So
I will post it. I will post it. Profit First. If you're starting a business, it's a great, great book because it talks about finance as well. So yes, great book. Those two books for sure.
Those two. So today we've talked about our keyword of the day is research. We've talked about how important it is to do your research before starting a business, while you're starting a business. Finance.
Finance, very important.
We've talked about finance. She threw a word out there. I don't know if the viewers caught it. CPA.
Yes.
An accountant are two different things. Get you a CPA if you are starting a business.
Yes.
And we've talked about you had a business coach.
Yes.
Are we recommending that in the beginning? Where do you think businesses should pick up a business coach at?
Personally, and other business owners might have a different opinion on this, but I feel like when you start to see some growth in your business, that's when you bring in a business coach because they're not free.
No.
And when you just starting off, like you have minimal money, right?
Minimal.
I say use the free resources that are available to you. I mean, every single city in the States have SBDC, which is like a support for small business owners. And if you go to kcmo.org, they have a lot of resources for small business owners. So tap into your free resources. There's a lot of free workshops for entrepreneurs in Kansas City. There's a lot of free workshops in St. Joe. Get connected to your local Chamber of Commerce and get resource from them because they have the connection. So tap into your free resource first. And then when you hit that growth, you're getting ready to like grow and shoot. Like that's when you get a business coach to see, okay, what's the best strategy to grow from here? What do I need to do?
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? So what is one piece of advice you would give yourself or a new business owner as we finish that you wish somebody gave you when you started?
Oh, there's so many.
Okay.
But I would say always pat yourself on the back for even taking the risk, for even doing it, because entrepreneurship is not easy. For us, like 1 month you can make 50 grand, 1 month you can make $2.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I say financial is so important. Like I always alliterate that for small business owners. But pat yourself in the back for sure. Like give yourself kudos for even doing it. Even if you do it and then you're like hitting the wall and you fail, you did it. You gave it a shot. You tried. So, always compliment yourself for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
So pat yourself on the back. Thank you again, Miuze, from behind the camera to in front of the camera.
Know.
I'm so excited.
So weird.
I know. She didn't want to, I had to pull teeth, but I knew she was going to give our entrepreneurs out there really, really great advice on how to get started, and from somebody who's in the business, who has worked with a lot of different backgrounds and businesses. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm your host, Alexis Williams, and we'll see you next time on the City Sculptors Podcast. Thank you for watching this episode of the City Sculptors. If you've ever thought about how our city shaped or thinking about a new career path, this podcast is for you. We upload every second and fourth Monday. I'm your host, Alexis Williams, and this is the City Sculptors Podcast.